So there's this new political thriller out, A House of Dynamite. And apparently, it's way more than just a movie. According to one pretty explosive review, it's actually a warning, a chilling look at a nation right on the edge. And the real threat? Well, it's not what you think. Let's get into it.
Okay, so the movie kicks off with a scene we all know, right? It's that familiar nightmare. You've got alarms blaring, screens flashing red, and yep, there it is, a missile is hurtling toward Chicago. It's the perfect setup for a thriller, designed to get your adrenaline pumping right from the get-go.
But here's the twist. The review says this is where the movie pulls a total bait and switch on you. It forces you to ask a really interesting question. What if that missile, that big, scary thing in the sky, isn't the real story? What if it's just a distraction from something way, way worse? To really get what this film is trying to say, the review dives into its structure, which is pretty unique. It's not your typical linear story. No, it's something much more clever, something the reviewer calls the shattered mirror structure. Okay, so here's how it works. The film makes you watch the exact same crisis 3 different times, from the moment the missile is launched to, well, whatever happens next. And each time, you're seeing it from a different perspective. The White House, the Pentagon, the Situation Room. And believe me, this isn't just lazy repetition. It is the whole point of the movie. And this leads to a really powerful metaphor from the review. It says, watching this film is like looking into a shattered mirror. You know, each little piece still reflects the same image, the crisis, but every reflection is a little different. It's distorted, it's incomplete, it's cracked. And this is how that structure really makes its argument. See, you think watching it again and again would make things clearer, right? Nope, it's the opposite. With each repetition, you just see another layer of rot. You see the fractures in the system, the moral compass of the leaders just breaking. You realize the whole thing is just losing coherence. So, okay, if the structure of the film is all about a system falling apart, what does that say about the people running it? Well, according to the review, it reveals something truly terrifying. The real enemy isn't the missile. The enemy is already inside the house. I mean, check this out. The film just lays bare this massive canyon between what these leaders are supposed to do and what they actually do. The protocol says, coordinate a response, but the human reality is they're on the phone to their spouses. The protocol says, protect millions, but they're running for the bunker to save themselves. It's a total breakdown where self-preservation completely trumps duty. And that bunker? It becomes so much more than just a physical place. The review really nails it. The bunker is the ultimate symbol of privilege. It's this place where the powerful can survive, you know, while the rest of the world just burns, completely unseen and forgotten. And the review points out this one, just devastating detail. You've got millions of lives hanging in the balance in Chicago, and what's the president worried about? He's worried about his wife, who is, get this, perfectly safe on a safari in Africa. It's a tiny moment, but it speaks volumes about a complete and total moral implosion. So you see, the missile is almost beside the point. That's the big takeaway here. This film isn't really about an external attack. The real horror, as the review puts it, is this bureaucratic implosion, this moral implosion. It's about watching a nation just crumble from the inside out, crushed by its own fear and selfishness. Which brings us to how the film pulls this off. The reviewer makes a great point that the movie's style isn't just for show. It's all very intentional. It's designed to turn the whole film into a kind of diagnosis of power, a deep psychological look at what's gone wrong. And here's the playbook. First, the film gets rid of all the typical action movie fluff. No explosions, no chase scenes. Then, it locks you in these tight, almost sterile rooms, forcing you to watch the panic simmer. And it uses this really flat, muted visual style. So what's the result? With nothing else to look at, you're forced to stare right at the real horror, the internal corrosion of power. You know, apparently, some people have called the film flat or empty, but the review argues, and I think this is brilliant, that the emptiness is the whole point. That lack of energy, that hollow feeling, it's all meant to reflect the soul of an exhausted superpower, a nation that's just run out of steam. So, after all that, what are we left with? What's the big takeaway from this really unsettling film? Well, according to the reviewer, it's more than just a movie. It's a serious warning. The review's final conclusion couldn't be clearer. A House of Dynamite isn't really about a nuclear threat. Not at all.
It's about a nation that has become dangerously, fatally self-absorbed. It's about what happens when we can't tell the difference between protecting ourselves and protecting each other.
And that brings us to maybe the most powerful quote in the entire review, one that just sticks with you. It says, "The real explosion has already begun, not in the sky, but in the soul of America itself." Wow. The film is basically telling us the damage is already here. It's already happened. So we're left with this one last lingering question. The movie's called A House of Dynamite, right? A place just packed with explosives, waiting for a spark. The review shows us exactly where that dynamite is hidden. It's in the foundations, in the very soul of the country. But the final, haunting question is, who's holding the match?